so my name is Sabrina. Today I'm going to talk about elbow extension, pronation, shoulder horizontal flexion, shoulder circumduction, and hip abduction, and how it works and which planes they are and how, basically just how their joints and so on work. First, I'm going to start with elbow extension. So elbow extension is where you're going to stand up straight. Your palm is always going to face to the front. Never gonna move it. It's an anatomical position where your palms always facing the front. Feet always together, straight line, back nice and straight, head up and nice and straight. So now let's go to the elbow extension part. So you're going to bring your right or your left arm up into a 90-degree angle. This part is always going to be horizontal to the floor, always going to be horizontal to the roof. We are taking your arm from a 90-degree angle straight back down into a horizontal movement is going to be your elbow extension. So the action where you took your arm from a 90-degree angle to 180 degree is called, obviously again, the extension. In an elbow extension, your body axis of rotation in your elbow joint. So in an elbow extension, your body axis is of the rotation of your elbow in the joint. So, what plane is it in? I'm going to tell you now what different planes you get, but first I'm going to tell you what an elbow extension plane is in. The elbow extension plane is either in a sagittal plane or a transverse plane. Now, let me quickly show you. I brought like this little poster trying to show you this to visualize what it is. So first we're going to do a frontal plane or a cornal plane if you want to say that. Frontal plane is we're going to look from the front. As you see here, the red line of the mannequin, it's always from the front or the back side. Okay, then you get a sagittal plane. So sagittal plane is you're always going to divide your body into a left and a right side. Sorry, this is right, this is left. So where you're looking from either the right or the left side. Then you get a transverse plane. The other name for it is an axial or a horizontal plane. So this is where your body is going to divide into two. It's going to be an upper body and a lower body. So if you're looking from above or you're looking from underneath. Alright. So let me tell you about pronation. What is pronation? Pronation is a rotatory movement in the upper limbs. Pronation is also the rotatory movement of the palm of the forearm facing downward. Alright. So two joints are involved in pronation. Supination in the forearm, namely the proximal and the desiradial joints, and these are the axis of rotation. But either way, if you're looking, depending on from which side you're looking, you can, or from which side you are using, it's going to be, remember, it's now this or this. So that is going to be a sagittal plane or a transverse plane. Like I said, depends from where you're standing and how you're looking at it. Now, let me tell you about shoulder circumduction. What is shoulder circumduction? Okay, it starts in a circular movement, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So your hand is going to come up, horizontal with the floor, horizontal with the roof, and always in line with your shoulder, yes. So it's going to go clockwise or anti-clockwise. Remember now, with this, the movement of your shoulder joint pivots in a circular motion in the socket while your hand makes essentially a cone movement. So, stand still and a cone movement to the front, cone movement to the back. The shoulder joint is an axis of rotation. When doing a shoulder circumduction, it combines a sagittal plane, remember, sagittal plane, or a frontal plane. You're looking from the front. Sagittal plane is you're going to look from the sides. Alright, just remember. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about shoulder horizontal flexion. What is shoulder horizontal flexion? Hand is going to come up to the side, horizontal with your shoulder always, and it's going to be horizontal with the floor, horizontal with the roof. You're going to stretch it over your chest, keeping it horizontal. So what's now happening in your shoulder? What axis are you using or what's going on? Alright, so horizontal flexion only happens in the shoulder joint, which is then the axis of rotation. So this is going to be the axis of rotation. What planes are you using? You're going to use the transverse plane, but also involving the sagittal plane. So, if you remember correctly, transverse plane divides the body into two. Sagittal plane, if you can see here, also divides the body into light or left side, depending on which side you're going to stand. If you're standing on the right side or you're using maybe the left side, it just all depends. Now I'm going to tell you of hip abduction. What is hip abduction? So first of all, the movement of hip abduction is going to be, you're going to take your knee, it's going to be straight, take it up from the side, you can see it a little bit better. So your knee is moving towards your chest. Keep it in a 90-degree angle. So that is hip abduction. With hip abduction, one uses the hip joint, which acts as the axe. So this is acting as the axe. Alright, so what planes are you using, you might ask? The planes you're using is either transverse plane or the sagittal plane, depending from where you're standing. So transverse plane, remember now, body into two, and the sagittal plane, left, right side. You can see it better from, obviously now I'm standing on the sagittal plane, which is the right side. So you can see it better from the side, the movement. And yeah guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you learned something new, that you can go out in the world and experience something. If you see someone, you're like, this is a sagittal plane or a transverse plane, and so on. Hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.